got a message for you tonight. Like, if you have ever wanted to do something big, and you found yourself saying, well, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to start the business? How am I going to get to 6 figures? How am I going to get to 7 figures? How am I going to write the book? How? Like, if you found yourself saying how, and you've been stuck spinning your wheels trying to figure out how you're going to make it happen, this message is for you, because I know a lot of us, we've been sidetracked because we've been trying to figure out how we're going to make some things happen. And I want to hopefully maybe just change your perspective about what you should be focusing on, and hopefully get you unstuck so that you can get to your next level. And so do me a favor, as you're jumping on right now, go ahead and put in your city and your state so I could go ahead and give you a quick shout out before we go ahead and get started on the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. And so once again, tonight's message is specifically for those of you who've ever found yourself saying how, like, how am I going to write the book? How am I going to start the business? How am I going to make the career leap? How do I go from like my current career path to doing this thing that I really want to do? Like, how do I, just think about it. We've all done it before, where you had something really big that you wanted to do, and you just kept saying to yourself, how? And what I find is that how tends to literally kill a lot of dreams and kill a lot of visions before they even take off. And so there's some people who've had big dreams, big goals, and big visions, things that they want to do. And then they found themselves saying, well, how am I going to do it? And because they didn't have the answer, they decided to go ahead and talk themselves right out of their goal, right out of their dream, right out of their vision before they even got started. And so hopefully that hasn't happened to you. I know it has surely happened to me. And hopefully if you're in that process right now of something that you want to do and you're trying to figure it out, hopefully I'm going to share something with you tonight that's going to help you to get unstuck. So let me go ahead and say what's up to a couple of people. Hey, we got Darren Smith tuning in from Baltimore, Maryland. We got Jermaine Thomas in the house. We got Betty Speaks tuning in from South Carolina. And so, of course, I just want to say what's up to all of you. And as you're jumping on, go ahead and put in your city and your state. Put in your city and your state. And so once again, this message is specifically for those of you who have had something that you really want to do. I mean, something that you really want to do, and you have found yourself getting caught up and tripped up because you're not quite sure how you're going to do it. Like, you know that you want to have a business, but you're not quite sure how you're going to make it happen. You know that you want to grow and scale your business, like you're trying to get to multiple 6 figures and 7 figures, but you're not sure how it's going to happen. You know that it's your goal and your desire to become a coach, to become a speaker, or maybe elevate your game and take things to the next level, but you're not quite sure how it's going to happen. Listen, first of all, I want to let you know you're not alone. Many of us get tripped up on the how. Many of us are in the process of really just trying to figure it out. And if that's you, let me just tell you, you're in the right place, because here's what I've come to realize, that many of us, that we have given up prematurely on the things that we want to make happen because we found ourselves saying how. In other words, there are some people right now that should be published authors. And the only reason why they're not a published author is because when they first decided, when they were first thinking about actually writing their book, they said, well, how am I going to do that? There are some people who should be entrepreneurs. And the only reason why they're not an entrepreneur right now is because they find themselves saying, well, how am I going to become an entrepreneur? There's some people who have committed to one particular career path, and they know that they're unhappy. They know that they're unfulfilled. They know it's not really what they want to do. And they're still stuck at the same job, going down the same track. And the only reason why they haven't left, the only reason why they haven't gone after something else is because they just didn't know how they were going to make the transition from what they're currently doing to what it is that they want to do. And so I want to help you to really shift your perspective. And so the first thing I want you to realize, and I want you to think about this for a moment, is that you have to let go of that how. Like, you have to release that. You can't get caught up with how it's going to happen. And I know we would love to have everything mapped out, but let me just tell you, when it comes to your biggest goals, when it comes to your biggest visions, unfortunately, you're not going to have it all mapped out. You're not going to know how everything's going to happen. Listen, if you're talking about little Mickey Mouse dreams and little Mickey Mouse goals, yeah, sure. You'll know exactly what you need to do. You'll know step A, B, C, D, all the way through Z. You'll know step 1, 2, 3, all the way till step 10. But if you're talking about a big dream, if you're talking about a big goal, if you're talking about something really, really huge that you want to do, most of the time you're not going to have it all figured out. You're going to have to figure it out in the process. And so I want you to understand this, that really how is none of your business. So first of all, I need you to accept that. So do me a favor, put hashtag none, hashtag none. And that's just short for saying that it's none of your business, okay? I want you to first accept that, because I think that some of us, we haven't accepted that. And so we keep spinning our wheels because we are convinced that the only way that we can leave this thing that we're doing right now and get to the next phase in our life is because we have to have all the steps planned out. I believe that many of us, that we believe that the only way that we can go from where the level we are right now to the next level is we believe that we have to have it all figured out. So some of you, you want to write a book, but you think you have to have it all figured out. Some of you are trying to get to a 6-figure business, but you think you have to have it all figured out. Some of you are trying to scale to a 7-figure business, but you think you have to have it all figured out. Some of you believe that you can make a living using your gifts, your skills, and your talents, but you think you got to have it all figured out. Some of you are thinking about becoming coaches and speakers, but you think you have to have it all figured out. And the reality of it is you will never have it all figured out. I'm going to say it again. Newsflash, you will never, ever, ever have it all figured out. And as soon as you can accept that, you're going to be able to move forward. Listen, as soon as you can accept the fact that you're not going to have it all figured out when you're growing your direct sales business, as soon as you have it figured out that you're not going to have it all figured out when you're writing your book, as soon as you understand that you're not going to have it all figured out when you're about to make the career change and you're about to make a shift in your life, as soon as you figure out that you're not going to have it all figured out when you're trying to get to the next level, the faster you will get there. As soon as you understand that you're not going to have it all figured out. So do me a favor, in the comment section, put hashtag none, because I need you to understand that how is really none of your business. Well, you say, well, Andy, if how is none of my business, then give me some practical steps to getting to my next level. Give me some practical steps on how I can accomplish the things that I really want to make happen. And so I want to give you a couple of practical steps. Now, before I do that, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the share button. The reason why I want you to hear the share button is because after I share these steps, you're going to think of somebody that you're connected to, that you're going to say, oh my goodness, I so know they needed to hear that. And you're going to say, I can't believe I didn't share it. So I want you to share it right now so that the person that needs to hear this is going to have an opportunity to hear it. So do me a favor, go ahead and hit the share button so that we can make sure that they're going to know the 3 practical steps that you need to be able to help you to get to the next level, to help you to push forward. Now, I want you to understand this, that I'm not talking theory, because this is something I had to apply in my own life. You know, today I have the privilege and the luxury of being a full-time speaker and a coach. I have the beautiful, beautiful luxury to say that I've had the most amazing clients. Some of my past clients include Office Depot, Pratt & Whitney, Accenture, Bacardi, NASA. Like, yes, NASA is my past client. And I have some extraordinary direct sale companies like Tracy Lynn Fashion Jewelry. And most recently, I picked up another company by the name of Team National. And so I have some awesome, awesome, awesome clients. I've also had the beautiful luxury to say that I've been in Black Enterprise and Huffington Post on national television. But I want you to understand that that wasn't always the case. You see, at one point, I was working a regular corporate job. I was working as a CPA for one of the big 4 public accounting firms, a company by the name of PricewaterhouseCoopers. And I can tell you right now, I remember working with them and finally coming to the realization that I had a desire for more. Like, I remember working for them and just getting the itch where I wanted to step out there and become an entrepreneur, and getting the itch where I wanted to step out there and go after my goals and my dreams. And literally, this was what happened. Every time I would think about moving forward, I would talk myself out of it, right? I would say, well, Andy, how are you going to do it? You know, like, what's going to be your game plan? Like, how are you going to start your own business? How are you going to become a speaker? How are you going to become a coach? Like, how are you going to replace your income? How are you going to make? And every single time that I kept asking myself how, the only thing that would happen is because I became less and less confident, and I kept postponing and delaying moving forward on my dream and moving forward on my vision. So I was saying how for like a year and a half. For a year and a half, I postponed moving forward on my goals and my dreams. For a year and a half, I delayed becoming an entrepreneur. For a year and a half, I delayed my destiny of becoming a coach and becoming a speaker. And the reason why is because I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And so I wanted to have all the steps mapped out. I wanted to know exactly like, okay, when I leave corporate America, this is exactly what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to start my speaking career. This is how I'm going to replace my income. This is where my money is going to come from. This is how I'm going to get my first clients. This is what my website's going to look like. This is what my products are going to look like. This is how I'm going to get my speaking engagements. This is how I'm going to generate my income. And let me tell you right now, I did not have any of that figured out. And I'm going to save you some time. If you're thinking about making a leap, like if you're thinking about leaning in, as Sheryl Sandberg would say, if you're thinking about jumping, like Steve Harvey would say, if you're thinking about like literally just spreading your wings and going after something, I want you to understand that chances are you are not going to have it all figured out. Like when Steve Harvey talks about jumping, let me tell you something right now, you are not going to have it all figured out. It is basically after you have jumped, that is when things are going to start revealing themselves. That's when you're going to learn things about yourself. That's when you're going to start making the connections. That's when you're going to start seeing the steps. That's when you're going to start knowing what you need to do. When Sheryl Sandberg talks about leaning in, listen, first you're going to have to lean into your goals and your dreams, lean into the things that you want to make happen before things begin to reveal themselves. And so I had to be willing to step out there on faith. Martin Luther King said that faith is taking the first step, even when you can't see the entire staircase. And so what I want you to understand is that you're going to have to, at some point, take the first step and start writing the book. You have to take the first step and start the business. Take the first step and make the career change. Take the first step and go back after that degree, whatever it is that you want to make happen. Take the first step. You're going to have to take the first step, even when you don't know what all the steps are. That's the thing that I want you to realize. When I made the decision to leave corporate America, I'm telling you right now, if you would have saw me at the time, you would say, man, this guy is extra confident. He must know exactly what he was going to do. I'm going to tell you right now, that was a big old facade. I did not know exactly what I was going to do. The only thing that I knew was that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. All I knew was that it was time for me to leave the career. All I knew is I was not getting the fulfillment that I really, really wanted. And I knew that it was time for me to take a leap. I knew that it was time for me to go ahead and step forward and decide to do something differently. That was the only thing that I knew for certain. Now, what I want you to understand is once I took the leap, once I moved forward, once I took the first step, then I began to have the right people show up in my life. I started to get mentors. I started to learn things. I started to discover things about me. I went through some challenges, and then I discovered that I could handle the challenges. And then I started going to workshops and seminars and learning little steps one by one. And every time I would learn something, then I would implement it. And so I want you to understand, I did not have it all figured out. Share this message right now because somebody needs to hear this. And I'm about to give you the three steps that you need so that you can get to your next level, the 3 steps that you need to help you to get past the how, because so many people get caught up in the how, and how is none of your business. Leave the how alone, like release the how. Don't worry about how. And let me tell you what your responsibility is. The first thing that you're responsible for is you simply need to believe. That is step number 1. You need to believe that you can be the best-selling author. You need to believe that you can, in fact, start the business. You need to believe that you can grow the business to multiple 6 figures and even to 7 figures. You need to believe that you can get paid full-time using your gifts, your skills, and your talents. You need to believe that you can go ahead and make this career change. You need to believe that you can be in a happy, fulfilling relationship. You need to believe that you can become debt-free. You need to believe that you can love again, that you can be in a happy, prosperous, fulfilling relationship. The first thing that you have to do is you simply have to believe. Like, don't get caught up in the how. Most people, they never get the opportunity to move forward because they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it. Your job is to just believe, that it's possible, to just believe. Like, let me tell you something right now. I left corporate America on one premise and one premise alone, believing that I would be able to figure it out. Believing that I would eventually be able to become a successful entrepreneur, believing that I would be able to tap into my purpose and my passion, believing that I would figure out the path and then ultimately be able to live the life that I always wanted for myself. I didn't know how I was going to do it, But I tell you this, that I actually believed. And now you might say, well, Andy, how do we know you really believed? Well, I tell you right now, the proof that I believe was that I was willing to walk into the office of HR and look at the lady who was head of HR, her name was Tammy Klein, and turn in my letter of resignation, right? And so you understand this, that the way the evidence of your belief is going to be your actions. And so if you say, all right, I believe that I could become a best-selling author, then you can substantiate that belief by starting to write the book. You say, I believe that I can succeed in this other career path. The way that you substantiate the fact that you believe, let me see you pivot and go down the other career path. If you say, Andy, I believe that I could become a successful entrepreneur, the way that you substantiate the belief is start the business. If you say, Andy, I believe that I can level up, I can take my business to the next level, I can get to multiple 6 figures, 7 figures. The way that you substantiate that belief is you invest in yourself, right? You get the coaching, you get the mentorship, you stroke the check, you learn the things that you need to learn so that you can get to the next level. And so I want you to understand this, that the first thing that you have to simply do is you have to believe. Somebody do me a favor right now in the comment section, put #believe, #believe. Now I'm telling you right now that most of the time, the biggest and the most important step for you, the biggest and the most important step for you to level up, for you to get to the next level, you know, everyone right now is talking about level up, level up, level up. Let me tell you right now, part of you leveling up is believing that you are entitled to the next level. It's believing that you can go up on your prices. It's believing that you can grow your business. It's believing that you can leverage your gifts, your skills, and your talents. It's believing that you can take things to an entirely different level. It's believing that you can write the book. It's believing that you can grow your direct sales company to the next level. It's the belief, the belief, the belief. And so the hardest part that you have to do is to simply believe. And that's why that is step number one. Ben Stein said that the indispensable step to literally being able to have the success that you want in life is to first believe that you can actually do it, to believe that it can be a reality for you. And so your job is to believe. Like if you believe that you can make some things happen, if you believe that this is your season, if you believe that you're ready to get to the next level, do me a favor in the comment section, go ahead and put believe, believe, believe. So yes, I see you, Rose. I see you, Shaquille, Christine, Charlie, Rhonda, Nidra, Greg, Linda, Janelle. Yes, believe, 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 believe. That's the first step. You got to believe. You got to believe. You know, the crazy thing is, you know, my wife and I at the beginning of the year, and I got this from my wife, so I'm not going to take credit for this. I have done vision boards in the past, but my wife is really, really, really big on vision boards. I mean, my wife used to host events like over 10 years ago. She used to host vision board parties like way before vision boards were popular. Like I remember one particular time helping my wife to get rid of several bins of magazines. And I had to call my friends to help me to pick up the bins because she had that many magazines. So she's always been really, really big on vision boards. And so one of the things that we do at the beginning of the year, and one of the things that we did at the beginning of this year is we hosted a private party at our house and we invited some of our few closest friends and we had a vision board party. And we did a vision board, and the vision board was for people who are married couples. We did vision boards for our marriages, and we did vision boards for ourselves individually. And so when we were doing the vision boards, one of the things that we told people is when you're going to start creating your vision board, your job is to just simply find things that you're going to put on your vision board that you want to accomplish, things that you want to realize, things that you would love to come to fruition. Your job is to not start filtering and only putting the things on there that you know exactly how it's going to happen. And so one of the things that we observe that happens every single time that we have a vision board party is that when people begin to start building out their vision boards, they have something that they're going to put on the vision board and then they talk themselves out of it. And they're about to put it on the vision board. They're like, but I don't know. And you say, well, why did you take that off your vision board? Because I don't really know. I mean, I would love to have an airplane, but I don't know how I'm going to get the airplane. I would love to travel and go to 50 countries, but I don't know how or when that's going to happen. You know, I would love to be able to become debt free, but I don't know if that's really going to happen. And so they get caught up and they start second guessing themselves because they're not quite sure how it's going to happen. But one of the things that we keep reminding them is that, listen, your job is to simply believe they could happen. And so I had some friends of mine that came in town from Canada, and they came in town the other day and they came to our house, and I walked them to our bedroom and I showed them my vision board. I showed them my wife's vision board. I showed them the vision board for our marriage, and I showed them my personal vision board. And I was sharing with them how at the beginning of the year, there's some things that I put on my vision board, some things that I wanted to make happen, that I put them on the vision board, but truth be told, I had no idea as to how they were going to happen. And so one of the things that I put on my vision board was that I was going to attend the National Speaker Association conference, and I knew how that was going to happen. But the other thing is that I put on my vision board that I would be speaking for the National Speaker Association. And the crazy thing is, about a couple of months ago, my telephone rang, and lo and behold, it was somebody from the National Speaker Association that told me that they were putting together an event called Brand Lab for people who are part of the National Speaker Association to develop and work on their brand. And they needed somebody who specialized on storytelling, and they wanted me to do the closing keynote, and they wanted me to also do a workshop. Now, I want you to understand that when I put that on my vision board, I had no idea how it was going to happen. I had no idea that somebody that I had worked with in the past, somebody that I had a relationship with, a business relationship, a past coaching client of mine, was going to have input on who the potential speakers would be for the NSA Brand Lab. Like, I had no idea that that was going to happen. I just simply believed and had a desire for that to happen. And then I want you to understand this. The other thing I had on my vision board is I had a picture of a massive, massive, huge audience for a large direct sales company. Now, for those of you who know me, I have already spoken to a direct sales company. As a matter of fact, one of my clients is a company by the name of Tracy Lynn Jewelry, and I've spoken for them for the past 5 years. And so the first time that I spoke for a direct sales company was 5 years ago, but I still put it on my vision board that I wanted to speak for another direct sales company in front of a very, very large audience. And I had no idea that when I put that on my vision board, that my telephone was going to ring and I was going to have an opportunity to speak for the Direct Selling Association and get the opportunity to get in front of CEOs and presidents of direct sales companies. And as a result of me speaking there, that a CEO of a very large direct sales company was then going to say, hey, Andy, we're putting together a conference and we're expecting about 5,000 people, and we would love for you to be one of the keynote speakers. I did not know that when I put together that vision board. All I simply did is I simply believed that it was possible. And what I want you to understand is this: your job is to not figure out how it's going to happen. Listen, I tell you this, and I told you before, how is really, truly none of your business. Your job is to simply believe. Do me a favor one more time. In the comment section, put hashtag believe, hashtag believe, hashtag believe. I see some of the Tracy Lynn Jewelry people chiming in. What's going on, family? I see you guys. Put hashtag believe, hashtag believe. Your job, step number one, is to simply believe. That is step number one. Don't figure out how it's going to happen. Don't figure out how you're going to grow the business. Don't figure out how you're going to write the book. Don't figure out how you're going to make the career change. Don't figure out how you're going to have the happy, fulfilling marriage and relationship. Don't figure out how you're going to get debt free. Your job is to simply believe. Your job is to believe that it's going to happen. Now, here's what your step number two. Here's what step number two is. I told you I'm going to give you some practical steps. Step number two is to look for the opportunities. Look for the opportunities. When I left corporate America, that showed that I believed. But once I believed, now I was spinning my wheels trying to figure it out. But I started to look for opportunities. And so as I was looking for opportunities, I found people that I could connect with. I found people that I could learn from. I found people who could teach me. I found people who could open up doors for me. But every single time, it was an opportunity that presented itself. Now, the only reason why I was able to take advantage of those opportunities is because I was actively looking and seeking opportunities. There are so many people who forfeit. They forfeit opportunities to get to the next level. They forfeit opportunities to make a transition and shift in their life because their focus is on how And so opportunities are popping up. Opportunities are showing up every day, like right in front of them. And they don't even see the opportunities. And the reason why they don't see the opportunities, because they're all in their head and they're spinning their wheels, and they're not actively looking and seeking for the opportunities. So whatever it is that you want to do, I want you to look for the opportunity to make the career change. Look for the opportunity to learn how to develop your gifts and your skills. Look for the opportunity to become the speaker and the coach. Look for the opportunity to get the coaching clients and to grow your business. Look for the opportunity to be able to find that person that you want to bring into your life. Look for the opportunity to start knocking down and getting rid of your debt. You want to actively be looking for the opportunities. Here's what I discovered. The opportunities are around us all day long. But the question is, are you in the right mental space to be able to see those opportunities? I want you to understand that you can put two people in the exact same environment and one person be absolutely convinced that there's no opportunity. One person be spinning their wheels, one person be stuck, and the other person be actively moving forward. The other person be up leveling all day long. The other person be getting to that next level. You say, well, what's the difference? One person saw the opportunity and the other person was so focused on being frustrated, so focused on what they didn't have, so focused on not knowing what to do that they missed out on all the opportunities that were right in front of them. And so what I want you to understand is this: your job is to look for the opportunities. Look for the opportunities to be coached. Look for the opportunities to learn. Look for the opportunities to meet new people. Look for the opportunities so that you can get to the next level. And once you begin to believe, remember I said step number one, once you believe, step number one is to believe. Believe that it's possible, regardless if you don't know how it's going to happen, just simply believe. Step number two is to look for the opportunities. Look for the opportunities. The opportunities are around you all the time. You either see them or you don't. You're either in the right mental space to take advantage of them or you are not. Opportunities never, ever go away. There are opportunities with your name written on them. If you don't pursue those opportunities, if you don't take advantage of those opportunities, they do not go away. They simply go to somebody else. So either you will see the opportunities and move on them, or somebody else will see those opportunities and they will move on those opportunities. The question is, which will you do? Will you see the opportunities and move forward, or will the opportunities be around you and you be so focused on scarcity, so focused on what you don't have, so focused on your limitations that you miss out on those opportunities? And so the third thing is, I want you to realize is after you believe, after you look for the opportunities, here's what you got to do. You got to take consistent action. Now, listen, the word consistent, I put in there intentionally, because you can't just sort of haphazardly take action. You can't casually take action. You can't inconsistently take action. If you inconsistently take action, then unfortunately, you would not produce the results that you want. If you want to get out of debt, you've got to consistently take action to get out of debt. If you want to write the book, you have to consistently take action to get that book to the point where you're bringing it to market. If you want to go ahead and start the business, you have to consistently take action to start the business. If you want to grow and scale your business, you have to consistently take action to do so. If you want to enhance your gifts, your skills, and your talents, you have to consistently work on your craft, consistently make the phone calls if you're looking to grow your business. Consistency is the key. You cannot do it every once in a while. You can't do it when you feel like it. You can't do it when you're feeling really great. You have to consistently do it. Do me a favor right now. Put hashtag consistent, because I want you to understand this, that if you want to have success in life, you have to be consistent. You must be consistent to get to the next level. You must be consistent to have the book become a reality. You must be consistent to make the career change. You must be consistent to be able to produce the results that you want. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to get to the next level, if you want things to happen to you, for you, it's not just about taking action, but it's about taking consistent action. You know, Jim Rohn, unfortunately, Jim Rohn is no longer alive, but Jim Rohn is what I would say one of the grandfathers of personal development. Jim Rohn used to have a CD that was called The Art of Exceptional Living. I would still suggest till this day that you would go and get a copy of this CD called The Art of Exceptional Living. Now, I guess CDs are getting outdated. You can get the online resource, The Art of Exceptional Living by Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn defines success. And when he defines success, what he says is that he says success is a few simple disciplines exercised when? Every single day. And so what he's saying is that your life is a reflection of what you do, not every once in a while, not what you do haphazardly, but what you do consistently. So I started off this message by letting you know that when you think about something really, really big that you want to make happen, that how is really none of your business. How is none of your business. I know we get caught up all day long trying to figure out how we're going to make things happen. Your job is to not figure out how it's going to happen. Your job is to follow these 3 steps. Your job, number 1, is to believe that it can happen for you. The second part is for you to look for the opportunities, because the opportunities are around you all the time. And then the third part is for you to take consistent action. Take consistent action. And so I want to give you a free resource right now. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right now for you so you know exactly how to do this. Let me type it in for you. So here's what you're going to do. And I want you to take advantage of this. Matter of fact, I want to pull this number up so that what I have is I have a free training resource that I want to give to you. And I want to make sure that you get access to this training resource. And so all you have to do, and I'm going to type this in right now to make it super, super easy for you. Let me see here to make sure I'm typing in the right number for you. But all you have to do is, and I'm going to put this on the screen so you know exactly how to do this. But I have a quick training video in which I show you how to leverage your personal story so that you can use your story so that you can go ahead and get people's attention, so that you can actually be able to overcome some of the objections that they have and then get them to take action. And so here's all you have to do. You're going to text the word story. So where you would type your friend's name or whoever it is name, you're going to type in the word story, like where you would say to your friend, hey, what's up? Type in the word story. And then you're going to text the word story to the telephone number 954-278-3701. Once again, you're going to text the word story to 954-278-3701. Now, when you do that, you're going to have to follow 2 more steps. You're going to simply put in your email address and you're going to put in your name. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to send you a free training video as well as a downloadable workbook. It's going to come to your email within 15 minutes of you completing these steps. So just text the word story to 954-278-3701. That's my gift to you. And that's for those of you who consider yourself to be coaches, consider yourself to be speakers, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're an influencer and you want to up-level your game and you just want to figure out how you can leverage stories so that you can actually be able to connect with people, so that you can overcome some of the objections that people have and then get them to move forward and take a specific action. So remember, when you do that, you've got to follow all the steps so that you can actually get the training. Put in your name and put in your email, and that's my gift to you. But once again, I just want to remind you that whatever it is that you really, really want to do, I want you to be very, very careful and very mindful that you don't allow yourself to get caught up with just trying to figure out, well, how am I going to do it? Like so many people who should have written a book have not written a book because they're saying to themselves, well, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. So many people should have started their business, but they didn't start the business because they said, well, I don't know how I'm going to go ahead and make it happen. There are so many people who should have made a career change, that should find ways to capitalize on their gifts, their skills, and their talents, but they didn't because they just find themselves saying, well, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. Listen, how is really none of your business. Your job is to simply follow these 3 steps. Number 1 is to believe that you can make it happen. Believe that you can write the book. Believe that you can start the business. believe that you can take the business to the next level, believe that you can become international speaker and a coach, to believe that you can have a happy, fulfilling relationship, to believe that you can make an impact in this world. Your job is to believe. Number two is for you to look for the opportunities. The opportunities are around you all day long, but I want you to remember, opportunities don't go away. They simply go to somebody else. Opportunities do not go away. They just go to somebody else. They never go away. They go to somebody else. So if you're not looking for the opportunities and finding a way to capitalize on those opportunities, then you're missing out on tremendous opportunity. And then the other thing is, you've got to take consistent action. Remember what I said? Consistent action, not lackadaisical action, not haphazard action, not every once in a while. You've got to take consistent action. And if you can take consistent action, everything changes. Everything changes for you. And so I want to thank you for tuning in. And of course, one more time, I have it on the screen. Take advantage of this free resource. You're going to text the word story to 954-278-3701. Once again, you're going to text the word story to 954-278-3701. And that is going to be my way of sending you out a great, quick training video that you're going to be able to use, a downloadable workbook. And I believe it's going to be able to help you to figure out how to leverage and share your stories. Hey, listen, I just want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining me on the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. If you got value from tonight's message in the comment section, go ahead and just put in real quick, this was for me. This was for me. This was for me. If you got value from tonight's message, do me a favor, just go ahead and put this was for me. And so let me say what's up to a couple people. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Christine. Hey, Anna. Hey, Darren. How you doing? If you got value from tonight's message, just go ahead and put this was for me. This was for me. Hey, Janelle. How you doing? Yes, Christine Wright, always in the building. I absolutely love you. You are welcome, Christine. Yes, Rhonda, you are welcome. Thank you so much for you guys for tuning in. My Tracy Lynn Jewelry family in the house. Thank you, partners. Make sure you go ahead and share this message, because I'm sure there's somebody you're connected to that really needs to hear this message. Marlene, how you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, Marlene, I appreciate you. Hey, Rose, how you doing? You're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My man, Darren Smith in the house. Thank you so much. Jermaine, yes, Jermaine Thomas. Hey, my man, good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yes. Ida Jones, thank you. This was for me. Ida, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marlene, yes, this was for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are fantastic. I love this. Anna, yes, Anna said this was for me. I see you, Anna. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, Gregory, my man Gregory out in Philly. My man Gregory, Philly in the house. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And listen, I just want to thank all of you. If you got value from tonight's message, Nidra, thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Nidra. Thank you for tuning in. If you got value from tonight's message, go ahead and hit the share button, because there's somebody you're connected to that can really benefit from tonight's message. And thank you so much, you guys. I thank you. You're the reason why I do this each and every week, so I can go ahead and come on here and give you something that you can apply to your life to help you to level up, to help you to take your life to the next level, and to help you to show up for your life. Hey, Roxanne Robinson, she said, this was for me. I see you, Roxanne. Thank you. And yes, indeed. You guys are more than welcome. Pat Evans, Pat from Brooklyn, New York in the house. Hey, Pat, what's up? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got some great value from tonight's message. Yes. And so you guys, I thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for sharing the love. Thank you for sharing this message. And yes, Queens, New York in the house. Rhonda's like, Len, Queens is in the house. My sister actually lives in Queens. She lives in Hollis, in New York. Yes. And my mother-in-law also lives in Queens. Yes. New York in the house. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you take advantage of that free resource. You're going to text the word story to 954-278-3701. Once again, you're going to text the word story to 954-278-3701. Follow the prompts, and you will go ahead and get access to that free training. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. God bless. I'll see you soon.